So, is it going to be Abaddon position 5 or Nature's Prophet position 5? Take your bet now. Which is it going to be?
5 seconds remaining.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's surely it's Prophet position 5.
You would assume so. I assume what their plan is at the moment. They want to put the Abaddon against the Bat Rider in the laning stage, and so he can always just purge off the napalm stacks with the shield. That would be my guess. But again, not. If it feels like this Pavaga lineup at the moment, right? They basically just want to run at you. Like they don't have any cooldowns to wait for. They just want to fight you over and over again. But they don't really have like any good objective taking. It's kind of literally just we win fights and then like run down lanes and try and take tower.
Dire team ban.
Yep. I mean, it's kind of how they want to play anyway, though, right?
Dire team pick.
They ban out the Alchemist on Singularity, which I quite like. Hero's making a bit of a comeback. Why is Alchemist coming back? Why is that guy coming back into my games? No.
I think Acid Spray, obviously with armor being reworked, so it's a little bit more. So it's a little bit more potent when you can take their armor away, which is really nice. Acid Spray got a buff in one of the most recent patches as well. So at the earlier levels, it has a higher AoE. I think it kind of just fits this strat that they want to like hit this really early timing with their draft as well. I just start pushing down lanes early on. And obviously having a Radiance builder against the PL, fantastic game as well. But in terms of overall, I guess it gives you like a win condition, which is nice, but I don't think you're going to see it every game necessarily. It will just pop up every now and then, I think.
Yeah. Can I make a... I'm not sure what Team Singularity are going to pick. Probably just a nice stable mid laner. Maybe something like the Conqueror. Even though he's been nerfed quite significantly in the mid lane, I still think he's a viable pickup.
The problem is if you put the Conqueror mid, they can just put the Ursa there as well. And then I think the lane's really difficult.
That's true. I'm expecting Pavaga to go for a lone druid, I think. It seems like a really good druid game.
Yeah, lone druid. I don't mind that too much. And then again, that's one of these Radiance heroes that we mentioned about that can deal with the PL too, which is okay. They need some kind of stable laner here. I'd be very surprised if this wasn't less support. I don't think you want to. I mean, you could put it as a core. It gives you decent wave clear against this early tempo lineup.
Tiny.
Okay.
All right. So possibly the Tiny at mid, I think, and yeah, could be Leshrac mid though. That'd be high.
I think it's more. Yeah, I think it's more likely to be Lesh mid and then Tiny 4.
Yeah, I think so as well.
It's a really good Tiny game though. Like they have these. You just want this hero that can come online and just fight early, right? Like this Avatos combo is super nice.
10 seconds.
Just to try and burst these heroes down like the Earth Spirit and the Nature's Prophet.
5 seconds.
It's a really good Oracle game as well. Like you can disarm the Ursa. The magic resistance is really good against the Earth Spirit too. You can purge things off, purge the magnetize off from the Earth Spirit as well. They don't. It feels like they still need some kind of like. They either need some kind of like hard carry here or like some hero that's going to allow them to hit their timing, like the lone druid that you mentioned. And I don't think you want to go late game against this kind of PL at the moment. Feels a little bit scary. I feel like you just go all in on this like 20-minute, 25-minute line. So what else is this? Like lone druids. And it has to do decently against Lesh mid as well, you would have. I'm not sure. This is a difficult one.
Mo is stumped.
I'm stumped. I need like a list of heroes on my wall in front.
You probably do. I think that's what most people do.
It would just make everything so much easier. What about like on a Viper's band?
I mean, you're basically looking for they're kind of weak on the AoE right now, so you're looking for some AoE to deal with this Panther so find the real buddy. They're going to go for the Shadow Fiend. It does feel a little bit risky. I mean, this guy needs to have a good lane, and with a Leshrac and a Tiny in the same game as each other, it doesn't matter which one of those is going mid. I mean, I imagine it's a Lesh, but Tiny are very well known for rotating around to the mid lane. But Pikachu, a very confident Shadow Fiend player, so yeah, Pingvin on the Leshrac, he's going to be in the middle lane.
I like the SF pick in the sense that it allows when this Earth Spirit when the Earth Spirit rotates mid to come and gank, it gives some really good kill potential as well. Like it feels awful when you play an Earth Spirit as a 4 and your mid laner doesn't have any kill. Really rough. if they land a roll at the moment on the Earth Spirit, they can just raise somebody down. I'm not really sure about this Abaddon here. I haven't seen too much of it. Really. I've seen Zai play it in pubs a little bit.
Yeah, it's one of these ones which is rising in popularity, but still definitely not considered a popular pick. But yeah, I mean, we see it versus a Batrider quite often. It's good versus the Oracle as well, to get rid of that disarm in certain situations. You know, especially the Ursa, who's going to be really annoyed by the Oracle's disarming shenanigans. So plenty of good reasons to pick up an Abaddon this game. And I mean, doesn't really care too much about the PL, to be honest. Like, Diffuser will be annoying for him, not being able to cast his spells, but at the end of the day, he's probably just going to buy a bunch of, like, auras and sit in the middle of a fight and be like, yeah, cool, hit me, I'm into it.
Yeah, I do like this Pavaga lineup, though, with the whole, like, you get the Greaves on the SF, you have the aura that allows you to hit buildings easier with the Ursa and the Nature's Prophet as well. Because we talked about them not having, like, great objective taking. When you have this SF aura, but working on buildings, it doesn't really matter too much. Everybody kind of becomes an objective taker.
when everyone is an objective taker, no one is an objective taker.
Exactly.
Well, look at that.
So is it? Yeah, it's going to be Abaddon Core, Nature's Prophet 5. I mean, so are they going to? Where are they going to put the Abaddon? Everybody's just walking towards. Everyone's just running down mid.
Everyone's running down mid. Literally, everybody in this game is going, this is what we're after. Just brawl it out in the middle lane. And find
it's like a typical solo game, isn't it? Everyone just runs down mid.
Everybody wanted mid.
This is the life. I'm really hoping that Jerry doesn't go for the point in tree toss this game, or like tree throw. Or does that tree spot them? If he was watching, the tree body blocked a little bit.
Get body blocked a tiny little bit there, but that'd be some pretty next level stuff if the Nature's Prophet was paying that close attention to it. However, it does look like they've kind of, I don't know. This Earth Spirit's in a very weird place. He has gone deep. He is looking for heroes. He is trying to find out lanes right now, and he's got a whole team headed towards him.
He should be fine. Why? He's only got one set of tangos. That's interesting. And 4 branches.
No one is spotting each other for the time being. Goodness, this is tense.
They see the trees top though, so I guess they're going to assume that the Nature's Prophet's top. But like, you see all 3 cores are just sitting in the mid lane on the Radiant side. Because both teams are trying to get the upper hand.
Roll in, he's going to get it. The Earth Spirit does it. But no one is bottom to catch any of these runes. I wonder if Tashlo hasn't gone for it. EGM might. I think he's going to pick this one up.
This is really good though for the Radiant side. They get the Abaddon against the Batrider, and they've got the Ursa up against the PL as well.
Yep.
So this is exactly where you want to be.
This is the dream laning situation for them, and I'm wondering, I mean, Singularity can't really do anything to swap it up, to be honest. It's either run across the map or just kind of accept your fate and get on with things, which I think is unfortunately going to have to be the answer for them. As Poshka picks up. They actually roll forwards onto a Poshka. This is so aggressive from LoL right now as he chases back from Poshka. Look at that damage from these two as well. That is absolutely savage. But they are changing the lanes.
Yeah, exactly. They have to. They don't have a choice. Like, this PL and Oracle can't play into a tri-lane. They just don't get anything in this lane. It's much better to just, take the hit and just walk through the other lanes instead. The supports can get what XP they can in the side lanes. You see Tiny at the moment just trying to take some last hits down here.
It's very reluctant to do so with Excalibur coming in, but never mind. I'll take that, sir. But, I mean, yeah, now you've switched it up. What is going to be the plan from Pavaga? Are they just going to accept it? Are they going to force out the TPs? I mean, it doesn't really make a difference if TP or not. Well, a roll from LoL does actually miss EGM there a little bit, but he's just coming into lane, making an entrance in style. Turning up to the party. Yeah, they are actually going to force the TPs at the very least, so this will, I mean, Singularity is going to do the same, though. Let's pay attention to middle laners. These guys aren't messing around. They're just brawling one another, having some fun, and so far it's a Leshrac on 7 and 3, and Pikachu with a very slow stun. Actually gets stunned up here. Nice stun there from Pingvin, and with the stun coming in from the Oracle as well. Pikachu is going to be held still for the time being, trying to get those razors off, but we'll just be taking a ton of damage. They're not stopping here. Jerry's coming in from the side. EGM, he's got to get on closer for the toss if he wants it, but the stun lands again, and that will be a dead Pikachu, and now the toss back. Uh-oh, that was not the play, but thankfully the Poshka was on the case and stops the Ursa just eating that poor Leshrac alive. Oh, goodness me, Jerry. Tiny Airlines nearly made a very bad trip.
First we're running down mid, now we have tiny airlines. What's happening here? I love it. The best part about that for me is that everybody's just trying to switch lanes. Like you see, the Abaddon's just walked all the way down towards bot lane, and that was the only reason he was mid. And I feel like that was the only reason that kill happened mid as well, is because everybody was running from side lane to side. Yep. So the mids just end up in the middle of the traffic. That's unfortunate for Pikachu.
Well, Shashlo's just going to throw down some fire in the verbal sense, but in fact in the flaming sense. And grab himself a couple of creeps. Just easy way to farm under tower if the creeps are pushed under. Gonna pull a bit of this. As he's trying to interrupt this pull, but that's not really going to happen, so will be successful. But Shasha will just sit and farm it. Oh, he does actually manage to interrupt it. Nicely done. See, these guys just know. That's one thing which always impresses me about pro teams, is how well, like, everybody at the top knows creep aggro and exactly, like, how to aggro the creeps, etc. I know, it's a basic thing, you know, I'm sure everybody's like, oh, obviously, but to me, you know, I'm easily impressed.
You see this Abaddon, though, as well. He realises that the...
He just shields his creep. What?
Oh, wow, they get a kill mid as well, actually.
Yeah.
They got the Avatos combo onto the SF.
Yeah,
that's Lesh, by the way.
Tidy
this Lesh build is so ridiculous, this 240. Edict does so much damage. It's unreal. This hero is going to get touched very soon. Probably after the major.
Okay, so we get a whole major of Leshrac. I'm into it. Leshrac is definitely the hot and cold hero, isn't he? He's either hot business or very much stale bread. Excalibur. He's alright, getting a couple of Fury swipes on him. Actually, 6 is quite severe. But Singularity rotating in 3 heroes to this top lane right now to try and shut down Palantimus and J4. But of course, this Prophet is just an absolute beast at trading, so unfortunately, Tiny and Oracle really are not. Like you don't really have anybody who can trade up versus the Snake's Prophet in this draft. So whoever you put here is just going to get beaten with a stick.
That was a really interesting play by the Lesh. He, I think he glyphed his creep wave there to try and secure the active rune for himself. Bot lane as well, actually. He needs to roll.
Ooh, Shashlo does manage to dodge out the roll there, and Lol finds himself in a bit of an awkward situation, but with that. Yeah, Clarity coming through. He can TP out if he wants to. However, it looks like he's going for the kill, but Shashlo's actually bottled up here, and Lol is not expecting to find him on full HP, chasing him down. And yep, down he goes. So Shashlo, nicely done with that bottle. Quite full HP, but definitely enough to lay down a bit of damage and get the kill onto the Earth Spirit there.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Lesh...
Did he buy the bottle from the secret shop? I think he did.
Yeah, I think he did
Why
as
just
well.
was not expecting it at all. And now Pingvin says hello to Flo, and well, lands a stun. No setup required, as he does take this bouncy rune, is continuing to try and lay in the damage to Flo here, chasing him down. Gonna need... No, it's fine. The Diabolic Edict gonna go to work, and they're actually looking to hold Lol as well. They're still trying to chase him down. Meanwhile, at top, Palantimos actually being blocked up. Down goes the Earth Spirit, and up at top, EGM and Poshka, well, they can't really take down Palantimos. He just goes to Shrine, shrines himself up, and Singularity have to back themselves away. But what happened with the runes? A lot happened with the runes, to be honest with you. Looks like
they all went to. They all went to Singularity.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty nice for them. Yeah. Considering the lanes aren't going too hot, at least they get the runes.
I just want to point. I want to go back to this play. There's been so much action since we talked about it, but the Lesh glyphed his creep wave mid to try and secure the active rune for himself. Like if he glyphs his creep wave, it means the SF can't kill it quick enough, so that he can push out the wave. He can push out the wave and then go and pick up the rune for himself. Unfortunately, it didn't work because the Earth Spirit picked it up.
Well,
but you know, good thought. Good thought.
Still a cool idea, all the same. Got to give credit where credit is due, and Palantimus thinking outside the box. What you need to be the best. There's Palantimus just trying to run at Excalibur time and time again. The roll comes through. It's actually going to land onto the Oracle here, but Poshka taking a ton of damage and is going to die under his tier 1. No safety to be had there as Lol makes the rotation and gets himself a neat little kill onto the Oracle in the top lane. However, they're maybe looking for a return here as Jerry throws down the Avalanche. Palantimus is dropping low. Excalibur chasing, has Nomad to work with, does have 6 charge on that wand, which might give him enough for the Spirit Lance. Stun comes out, landed once again, but Earth Spirit tries to hit his friend away and does die in return. So a bit of a hero there.
J4.
Yeah,
Run.
He's kind of frantically running around trees. There's nowhere really for him to go, so the Prophet will drop as well. Ooh, EGM nearly dying just to trees afterwards. It's luckily does manage to get himself out, and yeah, that's going to be 2 kills for Singularity up at top, now making the scoreline 1-8 for that. So really far ahead on the kill line right now. Only a small gold advantage, of course, because they are still last hitting pretty well on the side of Pavaga.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a mistake on this dire side, though. The Batrider and the Lesh have both picked up a bottle, and there was a haste rune that spawned bot, and they both started running toward it. Like, they aren't really sure. I feel like when this happens, like, you don't both need to go for a bottle. Like, Batrider goes for a soul ring or something and it's fine. Like, if you both go bottle, it's just such a waste.
EGM, he's going to find Planthamos here. Tosses him up into Pinkvin here. Nicely done with the stun. And they get that kill onto the Ursa. They've practiced that one, that's for sure.
Oh, he was definitely lagging. They've paused.
Shadow Fiend's the one who disconnected, so maybe not.
So this Lash is 5-0-2 by the way. He's having a good time. It's almost 8 minutes into the game, and he's taken part in 7 of the 9 kills. Good hero.
Very good hero, yeah. No, I played him yesterday because I was like, hey, they all seem to be playing him. All the cool kids are playing him in like the competitive games and stuff. But I had no idea what I was doing, but yeah, this Diabolic Edict stuff seems pretty tasty.
So it's 44 damage per explosion.
Yeah, see, this is one of the most worst worded spells in the game, I would say. Like, why are they called explosions? Like, if you're new to Dota and you hear about this spell which makes explosions, you're expecting something a little bit more dramatic than just... But the damage is pretty dramatic. So. That's not what I think of when someone tells me this is a disco pony which can explode. 40 explosions a second or whatever it is.
But look how quickly it takes towers.
It's just gone. Blink and you will miss it. Also, I love the 25 talent as well. I mean, not looking like we're going to get there this game, but you never know. Always fun to see that one come into play as well. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Flo's going to be defending his creeps as best he can, but it has actually the Batrider who started to come ahead on CS, but he can farm the jungle as well, actually, as I say that the Abaddon tires back up with these creeps under his tower.
But this is what you do on Batrider. You just cut the wave, pick up the creeps, you can farm the jungle at the same time, which you should be doing.
He's already got himself ready to travel. Dude is minted, and he's just going to TP himself away. It's actually the highest net worth in the game, this Batrider.
But, I mean, normally I would say I'm not really sure about this boots of travel, but if you look at the game plan for both teams this game, we've talked about how the Radiant side, they just want to brute force down lanes, right? But on this Dire side, you just want to open up the map, you want to split push a little bit more, allow your PL to come online, get farmed, and so when you have this Leshrac and Batrider and both just clear creep waves so quickly, and they're so mobile across the map, it makes it really difficult for this Radiant side to play the game they want to.
Absolutely, and you know, Singularity, they're all about the space. Oh, Lasso in the middle lane. They've got the Shadow Fiend caught out of position. Pikachu could be in some trouble. The Avalanche does come through, tossing their Lashrak into the midst of things, and out comes that Diabolic Edict, which just rips apart Pikachu. J4 doesn't last long at all either, as Pinkvin will get a double kill. I'm going to call that one the grenade. You just pull the pin on your Lashrak and throw him into the middle of a fight, and all of a sudden there is explosions, and it's heroes which are exploding.
That's how it works. It's a hand grenade.
Hand grenade strat.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Forget your tiny axe or your like tiny centaur. It's all about the tiny Lesh now.
All about tiny Lesh. Well, this is looking very convincing from Singularity so far, and by their movement around the map, doesn't look like they're looking to release this pressure anytime soon as they rotate 4 heroes into this bottom lane, though. Shashlo already using this Firefly just to clean up some creeps. It's a hungry boy. Wants all the creeps he can get himself towards that Blink Dagger, I guess. Maybe going for Drums or something. Drums is always tempting with the Boots of Travel as well and everything, because just stacking that movement speed. You can use a Blink when you move at the speed of sound.
The thing is as well, when you play against this when you play against this Abaddon, it's not so much about the Blink Lasso thing. It's more about just running people down with like your raw magic damage. You see, he's going to just run at this Abaddon right now as well. He's going for this.
More damage coming through, and the rest of the team aren't even here yet. So this might be a pretty early pop on borrowed time, but they're rotating heroes on Pavaga. But the Avalanche is going to slow down the Ursa as he tries to TP into this one. But Jerry also taking a lot of hits from the tower. Nice little stone comes out from LoL. Does miss the next boulder. However, Shadowfeet gets it. Nice little raise there, and that is going to be a return kill. The second kill of the game for Pavaga. But it does feel pretty good. But meanwhile, the tower actually does go down to... Oh, did he just TP out?
The Lesh took it just as he TP'd out.
Diabolic Edict, TP out, go out in style. Yeah, I'll take the tower with me, no issues. Meanwhile, Flo, he doesn't have this borrowed time anymore, and he's going to get killed immediately by that lasso, which just came off cooldown. Singularity finding all the kills they want and working around their cooldowns pretty nicely as well by the looks of things.
I mean, the reason you're seeing this Radiant side struggle so much at the moment, like, they can't really make... Oh, hang on one sec.
Yeah, it is. And Shashno actually gets blown up by Planthamos here in the bottom lane, and down goes Maposhka as well. So Yeah, 4 heroes rotated in, but Pavaga do come out getting quite a lot for that one.
Radiant's middle
Well,
tower is
323 for the Bat Rider is quite a lot. 175 from Kosha, not so much, but you know, he's only a dinky little support.
I was about to say, the only way they can start fights is his Earth Spirit at the moment. So they're really reliant on him making plays across the map. Like, you have this Nature's Prophet that can TP in as well, but you can't really fight around Abaddon. Like, he's got this Helm of the Dom now, so maybe he can a little bit more. Like, this Ursa is going for this Midas, so he needs a little bit of time to come online. Yes, he can take part in fights, but they don't really have any good, like, core to fight around at the moment. Bot lane as well. They're going on the SF.
Oh, Pikachu in a lot of trouble here, and he will get killed off by the side of Singularity. Scalper will take that one for himself. Yeah, I mean, these ganks are coming in so fast and all over the map right now, it seems, so really doesn't seem too much time for Pavaga to respond, as Ursa's just a dude trying to get himself a Midas, and will get chased off the jungle. What do you think of this Midas pickup on the Ursa, though?
I'm not a fan. Like, it's okay. I understand the reasoning behind it. Like, you can't flash farm on this hero. So you want to pick up this hero that allows you to, you can constantly fight, but you can keep up with your farm because you have the Midas.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay, but I feel like if you try and do that this game after the start that they've had, they're just going to fall further and further behind. Like, you can't fight this PL at the moment. So, sorry, this dire side at the moment. So yeah, maybe Midas is the right choice, but when are you ever going to be able to fight them this game if you don't fight them soon?
That's kind of what I'm thinking, like a Blink Basher on the Ursa. I think that's kind of the timing you're looking for right now, just something you can jump on and hopefully keep the left track locked down long enough before he can really come into the fight, though. Is that a Octarine? He's rushing straight for?
He's going Bloodstone.
Oh, Bloodstone. Right. I forgot that item exists.
They're just getting this bot tier 2, and they're still keeping their top tier 1 alive even longer, just because the Batrider TP'd there a second ago. Like, he kept that tower alive for an extra 10 seconds or so in the top lane. And yeah, they're just going to go for this. They're going to force TPs back before they back off.
Well,
this left track is easy.
That Spirit comes in with the silence, although he's taking a fair amount of damage being this close. So Magnetize on everybody's pretty nice. That is going to be enough to force Singularity away for the time being as he refreshes the Magnetize on 3 of them.
Okay, well.
Defended, I guess. LOL does it, one man versus the world, but they did get the rotations anyway.
Yeah, at least the SF didn't have to TP back. That's the most important. So they didn't have to TP everybody.
Yeah. He's still out there, farming away, looking for this Yule Scepter, going for a magic build, in fact, on the Shadow Fiend, and not the Greaves that we're used to seeing.
Regeneration.
I mean, they don't really have these. Like, alright, like Abaddon has Helm of the Dom, which is okay, but he's going to build towards this Radiance to try and deal with the PL. His Ursa has a Midas. Like, how are they dealing with this Lesh at the moment? Actually, that's the most important thing here. Like, this Lesh feels like he's having a free game at the moment. I don't know if can you see the Lesh at the moment as well? He keeps cancelling his ult and then putting it back on again because he had a regen ring. It was cute.
Well, he can actually just keep his ult going at all times with his Bloodstone this early on. That's good.
For Roadstone.
Thanks, level 1 post Nova. They're going to be taking it. Yeah, they will get it. A little bit of oversight here from Singularity, actually, as they do miss the Roshan going down, but they're going to try and get the return kill onto the Earth Spirit all the same. Although,
grenades.
Oh, Abaddon used the shield, so I'm wondering if...
Mid lane.
That would be Pikachu being brought down.
That's the blink reveal on Tiny, though. That was... I didn't even see him pick that up.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
I didn't either. That's a really good timing on EGM as well. 15 minutes for your position 4 to get a Blink Dagger is very nice.
I mean, look at the farm on the supports. Like, this Tiny's so far ahead of all the other 3. This Earth Spirit and Nature's Prophet are really falling behind, and that's just because of all the tower gold that's come through for Singularity.
Right.
They're just going to take this mid tier 2 now as well.
And the kill involvement as well, you know, the Leshrax is 802, but the Tiny's also coming into contact with Flow here, trying to bring down the Abaddon, but of course, actually he doesn't have borrowed time, so he's just going to drop here. Wondering where his borrowed time actually went.
This Dire Ward, by the way, in the Radiant bot jungle is so good. Like, it's really difficult to find this. It's so hard to de-ward.
Yeah, it's not in the usual places like here and here.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And it just allowed them to get the Abdon kill. They just saw him walking from bot to mid lane.
Dire's
They're like,
structures
okay, well,
are
we'll just meet you on the way.
Dire's
Fine
top
with us.
tower is under attack.
What's the matter, folks? But there is pressure being put on top by J4. They're trying to like reroute the attention of Singularity to other lanes, other areas, stop them pushing. You know, take their attention off the objectives. But I mean, when Shashko could just come back and even. All right, he's not going for the kill, which does surprise me a little bit.
This Ursus might get run down here as well. There's a diffuser on the... Yeah.
He's stunned up. He's got the Aegis, and they don't really want to try and kill Ursa with the whole team coming in. Actually, a TP in from J4, but that was quite a defensive position from him. Not going to allow him to find anybody, but not really that bothered, I don't think. As long as they're out of this jungle, Pavaga are happy. As,
Jerry TP'd out on the Tiny. They didn't have the Batrider either.
Right.
Realised it was wise to back off.
Yeah, he did actually go for the drums, and now he's going for an Atos Batrider. Interesting.
And this is really good. I mean, Atos is just a good item at the moment. It gives you good stats, allows you to cancel TPs as well. Just that extra chase ability is always nice. And like we talked about, there's no point getting the blink this game for the lasso because the Abaddon's just going to take it off anyway. Just build tanky, run around in the fights, you know, try and soak up some damage. I'd even like to see him build something like a pipe next as well after the Atos.
I'm looking forward to him lassoing somebody, and then the... Yules is out onto Pikachu here. Defensively trying to keep himself alive. Pink's been dropping low, and he's actually been false promise up, so he can just keep on going here, burning through all of this mana, chasing down Pikachu. Really wants to try and find this kill, although the Mistcall's going to come in and actually save Pikachu from the last of found. Pinkfin is dead, and Lol's not in a very good position as Shashlo is trying to run him down, but with the team coming in behind Lol, he might actually be okay on this one. He's just going to roll himself to safety. No, he's actually rolling for Jerry, as he's still looking for the Tiny. Tiny just bottling up, maybe looking for something. New Mistcall's going to come in, take out Maposhka, and this will be Pavaga finding themselves 2 kills, one of them being the Leshrac, which is absolutely critical in turning this game around. That is a godlike streak going to Pikachu on this Shadow Fiend. So this is really, really big for Pavaga. Brings them right back into the game.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for the Lesh. He kind of got a little bit cocky there and just went in, didn't really think about who was behind the SF. They were just very tunnel visioned in on him there. There was a cute combo though where the Oracle used his ult and the Leshrac popped the Bloodstone at the same time to heal himself, so that the effect effectively doubles from the Oracle, which is nice.
J4's been kind of run circles around here. He's struggling to figure out what to do as the Atos just cancels off his TP. I can see his thought process though was like, well, if I just TP out, then it either forced him to use Lasso, which is pretty good for my team, not realizing that the Batrider has picked up this Atos, so another cancel for those TPs, which is another good perk about the item in this game. They are looking towards Pikachu. Jerry jumps in with the toss back up. Jerry needs to be careful here. Does manage to dodge out the second raise, and I think this might be Pikachu paying the price of 100 HP. Not going to survive very long at all. The Shashlo will take that kill as the Shadow Feed goes down. Wanted the easy kill onto EGM, but he just baited them out, no problems at all.
I like the Singularity as well. Like they take this bad team fight mid,
could be in trouble if the Atos comes in as well. He's out, and now the shield used very early here, which allows him to go for this lasso onto Lol here and drag him out of position, bring him down. Flow dropping low as well. Bird time going to come off the S, trying to get into this fight, but they kind of realize that there's not really a fight to be had here. With Pinkfin backing them all up, with a ton of mana still left and a false promise in the tank as well. There's just not really an option for Pavaga to take this fight.
I was going to mention that I'm really glad Singularity just keeping up this tempo that they had before, even if they took a bad fight. Like, there's no need for them to stop. They understand that they're still really far in front, even if they made a mistake. They can look to just try and keep up the pressure, because if you look at the moment on the map, like the Radiant, it's basically just this Nature's Prophet trying to split push lanes, and the rest of them are kind of stuck just outside their base. And if they move outside their base, they're really scared of getting picked off, all of them.
Another interesting thing about Pinkfin's build as well is that he's actually left the Pulse Nova on 1 and maxed out all his other spells, which I really like as well, because obviously, you know, Pulse Nova has a crazy high mana cost as it scales upwards as well. Pushka. Is he right here? Yeah, he's healing himself up okay, and looking to maybe come forward on this fight here. Pikachu, Yules instantly cancelled off by the Oracle there, not timing that well at all. He's going to try and pop the ultimate off. Is he going to get it off? He is, and that is being healed as well, but he will not get himself away. Excalibur runs him down. Now looking towards Flow as well, who does have that borrowed time available, so let's just look to other targets. J4 being run down, Atos used on the Ursa. He's going to rage it off pretty quickly. That was a creep toss forwards actually, as the lasso comes out onto Spirit, bringing him back. Jerry on top of him as well. Flo has been finished off, and her Spirit not looking too healthy either. As Penguin comes in, finds a kill. It's a double for him, and Singularity get right back to business of winning these fights. Pavaga lose 3, critically the Shadow Fiend, and well, they'll assert themselves very thoroughly on this map. So now they're going to really start to choke Pavaga out of things as well, especially with this Aegis now gone on the Ursa. It gives them a real big opportunity to basically just say, yeah, you're not allowed to farm anymore. You're going for these greedy items, you're going for the Radiance, you're going for the Midas, well, you have the Midas, and nothing to back it up. And he's actually forcing the Ursa into going for a BKB as his second big item behind the Blink Dagger. That doesn't feel good as an Ursa. You want kill potential on this hero. That's what this hero does.
I mean, he had BKB queued up before the Blink. Like, I think he understands how good it is this game, up against the Batrider, up against the Lesh. But
yeah,
there was a really cute play in that fight where the Oracle used Fortune's End on the SF to purge off the haste rune just as he picked it up. It was super nice. Allowed them to pick up that kill. And then it's basically like, you find one kill, and if you look at the amount of catch they have on their Singularity side, they're just constantly finding like another one, and they just move on to the next hero over and over. Like, you have tossbacks, you have lassos, you have the PL running people down with a diffusal blade. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, odds first game 1, not looking particularly good for Pavaga Gaming, to be honest with you. Currently sitting on 22.25.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably wouldn't put it that badly, but it is not looking good, it has to be said.
And, you know, if you put a quid on Singularity, you get 1p back.
Oh, good.
So, you know, 1 penny sweet. That's not a thing anywhere anymore. Damn economy.
Freddos are like 25p, aren't they? Jesus.
Yeah, quid for a Freddo these days. Have to get a mortgage to afford one.
This Lesh has a BKB now as well, by the way, and 19 Bloodstone charge. That's a scary disco. This SF is in trouble.
He's being hunted. Atos comes in. They want to force him to use the Yule Scepter, and they will get it off him immediately. But he does manage to blink out. Okay, but Excalibur chasing him down with the Phantom Rush. The toss up to Jerry as well. Big Jew controlled and walked down. The rest of the team already looking for more as they run up towards the trees. Oh, the Avalanche! It cancels the TP of LOL. EGM actually found him. That was a very heads-up play from him. The roll is still going to be used into the trees, but he's got no TP to get out of it now. So Singularity, like bloodhounds to the slaughter, they are chasing down the Earth Spirit, and they will get him. Law brought down, and all he can do is spam out some voice lines as he's dead for 35 seconds.
They literally, whenever the Radiant leave their base, do you remember the OpenAI game where like the OpenAI bots would just run down lanes trying to extend the game?
Yeah.
Do you remember this? That's what it feels like at the moment.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
Radiant basically just have to keep the game alive as much as they can by, you know, taking turns getting picked off almost. But this Dire side, they've just been waiting for the Roach to spawn after the Ursa took the first one. So here we go. I mean, Ursa picks up BKB, so they could try and take a fight now.
Alright, next patch, do we think we should give Roshan a better health bar?
What are you looking for?
Just something a little bit more impressive. I mean, you know, the heroes is alright. You know, Spirit Bear's even got a nicer health bar than Roshan. This is Roshan. He's a big dude. He's got a big long bar, and it's just a big long olive stick. I don't know. I want like some grasses. Maybe it could like, I don't know, bleed or something. I don't know. Cool. I just feel like it's just pretty simple for the big boy. They want to roll in, comes forward, and Maposhka blown up immediately, but buyback comes out from him straight away. Flo is going to get that borrowed time pop straight away as Pigment's being run down by all of these heroes, but now finally Excalibur turning up to the fight, and they will be able to take down Pikachu together. Now they look towards Morris. Shashlo being chased up the hill, but Pavaga may be realizing now that the main side of their fight is gone, and Lord's going to go down as well here as he just tries to delay Singularity chasing forwards. They don't want him to find J4, but J4 surely. Oh, what? Okay. Jerry didn't see him. Nice positioning in the trees there, I guess. But Roshan is still going to be taken. And yeah.
The problem that the Radiant side have in these fights is that they basically have 3 supports. Because of the way that this Abaddon's distributed his net worth, he has Phase Group's Helm of the Dom and then 3,800 unspent gold that he's going for on a Radiant. So in these fights, they've got 2 cores which are, you know, relatively farmed, and then 3 supports. And you can't play against the Lesh like that. You just don't have the damage to be able to deal with him.
J4 just gets killed, going for some runes. It's the same old story.
This Lesh has cheese.
Yeah, that's terrifying on this hero.
He's using this Bloodstone active really well too in these fights. Where it's not like on Storm where the Bloodstone active's not as good as it used. On heroes like Lesh, this is really good because you don't use the same like burst amount of mana as the Storm does. How do the Radiant leave their base?
It's not looking too likely they can even stay in their base right now, as Jerry is lurking with this Blink Dagger and the 4-star
Radiant's
toss
top
combo.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, Singularity, they want to take this tier 2, get rid of all the outer objectives before you go up onto this high ground.
Dire's
Money you
bottom
can.
tower is under
Do you remember in the draft I said I'm really interested to see how this Abaddon works?
Yeah. Spoiler, it didn't.
Yeah.
So
it's
far,
not,
anyway.
It's not worked the way they were hoping for. You see this
Radiant's
Batrider
top
just basically
tower
draws
is
a line and
under
says,
attack.
you are not passing this fire.
Radiant
Uh-oh,
structures
J4.
are fortified.
Okay, he gets away with it, I was going to say. Going for the no-tail warding, where you kind of go up behind and place the ward down. Makoshka didn't actually spot him somehow when he did that, so J4 will be able to get out of there.
Radiant's
Probably
top
feeling
tower
pretty
is under
sweaty
attack.
on his gaming seat right now.
Radiant's
The house is
tower
gone.
has fallen.
Yeah, I mean, Edict's a good spell, guys. You have to defend at some point.
Wonder what they're waiting
Okay,
for.
well, that's a melee rack's gone.
And they've got 2 heroes pushing behind. I think they're looking for a
Radiant's
pick-off as the Earths are kind of wondering what to do with themselves right now, as they've actually found the Earth Spirit and they're just going to pick him off on the backline. So there's no heroes coming in to respond to this at all, because Excalibur's just sitting here warding them all off. They can't go into this Phantom Lands. They can't do anything on the side of
Radiant's
Pavaga. They're just
middle
sitting in their
tower
base
is under
waiting
attack.
for what?
I just don't agree with the item choices this game on the Radiant side.
Radiant's
it's minus-
middle barracks are
Very
under
Hasn't really
slow.
done anything.
27 minutes in and you're now getting high
This-
ground. But
This SF has like Blink Fuels, which is really good at getting like these pickoffs, but in 5-on-5 engagements.
jumped in again. BKB pop from Plantamon, but Shashlo pops his as well and gets a lasso off onto the Earth, just dragging him straight out of the fight, out of danger. Meanwhile, Lol's been taken down. Pikachu will be able to get a decent ulti off, but GG's just called. GG is just gone like that, and we don't even get to see how the fight turns out.
Well, I think we do get to see. I'll be honest. I just don't agree with how they've built to play this game. Like, they have 3 cores that have all just tried to farm. This SF goes for Blink Yules, which like is really good in these pickoff situations. But with the high tempo game that Singularity have played here, they just can't take team fights. Like, they don't have the items to be able to do it. They've just fallen further and further behind. And I don't really understand what this Abaddon was supposed to do this game. Yes, it was good against the Batrider in like a closed vacuum, but the hero just hasn't been utilized at all.
Yeah, I feel like the Radiance was a really strange pickup from him as well. You know, I would have loved to see a Vlad's or something, any kind of aura, but when everybody's going for these late game items, except maybe the Shadow Fiend, who went for a bit more of a magic build, but he's still a Shadow Fiend. So he also had 10 deaths that game from trying to be so aggressive on Pikachu. And we know that Pikachu, he's a fantastic mid laner. He can be a real showstopper if the situation is right for him, but his team did nothing to help him achieve that. So I'm looking to see some improvements in Pavaga for game number 2.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I think they just need to make sure they can match the tempo that Singularity are putting down at the moment.
Yeah. I mean,
you need these cores that Singularity pick, like the Batrider, that can come online really early and just fight. Abaddon is one of these heroes like we see in the offlane, things like Necro especially as well, where they need time to come on. And they didn't get the time this game.
Nope, they did not indeed. Well, hopefully we'll see Pavaga putting up a better performance in game number 2. I mean, first game of the day, you know, it's the warm-up game. They're just getting their fingers warmed up, stretching out a little bit, you know, first time turn on their computer. You know how it be. We all have them. Hopefully game number 2 we'll see a better performance from them, but Team Singularity looking damn good and very fun to watch as well, utilizing this Leshrac incredibly well as Pingvin takes the game with his team there. Leading into game number 2, we'll see how it gets on. We'll be back very shortly for that one. Don't go anywhere.